Hello! So title update 1 is out and we have many new things, both secret and technical stuff, and in this video I will go over every single thing, small to large, so you have the best experience with this update. Keep in mind that these type of videos take a longer time to make just because of all the testings and all the information that I have to gather from all different sources, and even capturing the gameplay for you guys, which has a lot of farming behind the scenes. So if you like this type of content, drop a like so I make more of these videos for you guys. First, I want to quickly go over the Mantle Changes, since this has huge impact on the builds and the way we hunt monsters. This also has impact on the new weapons and the new builds that we can make. So the infamous Corrupted Mantle has been butchered and the bonus affinity is dropped from 30% all the way down to 10%, and the same thing goes for the attack power, which was 10% and now it's 5%. Keep in mind that this 10% affinity and 5% attack power will not be given to you the second that you put the mantle on. So the mantle has two stages. The first stage will only give you 5% affinity, and the second stage will give you an extra 5% affinity and 5% attack power. The duration of the mantle has also been hit, and the bonus hits that you do while having this mantle on seems to have also been reduced. I mean, this mantle is pure DPS and it always will be used in speedruns regardless of this nerf, but for normal people and normal hunts, this might be the time to switch up your mantle, especially since the other mantles have also been buffed. The duration of the evasion mantle and mending mantle has been increased, and also the damage reduction for Rocket City mantle has been improved. So I definitely recommend you to try some of these mantles, especially if you are not a speedrunner. So some of the builds have been improved with the new armor pieces from the Zoh Shia and Mizutsune, and we'll get to that later. But with the changes to the Corrupted Mantle, you're not going to really notice that, because a lot of the builds are going to have maybe 1 to 2 points of weakness exploit added to them or any other skill, and because we have to compensate for the loss of affinity with the Corrupted Mantle, the changes are just not going to be noticeable. So with the update, we have 3 new quests. The first quest is about the Mizutsune and is accessible by talking to the very cringe character Kanya in the Scarlet Forest.
So
what you gotta say?
My fisher wetler, masked angler.
What the fuck? Look at Alma's face. You have to be hunter rank 21 to be able to do this quest, and Mizutsune introduces a new status effect to the game called Bubble Blight, which I will call BB from now on, and it has 2 versions, minor BB and a major BB. The minor BB will increase your iframes when dodging by a tiny bit, but the major BB will make you slide around the place, leaving you vulnerable, and also makes Mizu's attacks do more damage to you. You can cleanse this by using a cleanser or waiting for the duration to end. The Mizu also has different types of bubbles. There's normal bubble and there is the red ones that give you bonus attack power, and then there is the green ones that heal you. Also keep in mind that the major BB can increase the damage that the Mizutsune does to you, so he can easily one-shot you if you're not careful. Other than that, the fight is pretty easy, and at least that is the case until you hit hunter rank 41 and you get access to the tempered Mizutsune, which is the 8-star difficulty monster, and it actually can one-shot you very easily. I've experienced this myself, and a lot of the other people just card, especially to one of his really high damaging attacks if you have the major Bubble Blight on you. However, you can negate a little bit of this by upgrading your armor, since the Rarity 5 armors can be upgraded past their limit by this update. So make sure to upgrade your favorites as soon as you possibly can to be on par with Mizutsune and Zoh Shia, and you don't get one shot by a lot of their attacks. But that said, let's talk about the Mizu armor and weapons. In terms of the armor, Mizu armor pieces aren't that insane. One piece that will get used in some builds is Mizutsune's pants, which gives you 2 levels of burst as well as 1 level of peak performance if you go for the A version of the armor pants, and it also can slot either a 3-point jewel or a 1-point jewel depending on the one that you actually go for, which is the alpha and beta versions. The set bonus gives you bubbly dance, and this basically inflicts you with the minor BB by evading a couple of times, and it also negates major Bubble Blight, which can be good against Mizutsune himself. The problem I have with this is that the 2-piece set bonus can't actually inflict you with Bubble Blight, and I haven't seen this talked about anywhere. The people seem to just miss on this particular point, and the reason why this matters a lot comes from the Mizu weapons, which you can see in the background, and essentially these weapons have a 3-point new skill called the Slicked Blade, and this skill gives you 9% affinity when you are wet and 21% bonus affinity when you are affiliated with BB, and that's a huge commitment. I mean, how many sets have you seen that use 4 pieces of the same monster? Not many, right? And it doesn't end there. Obviously, the question is whether these weapons are any good, and I say in comparison to the Ardian weapons, which are actually the best weapons in the game currently for most of the builds. These are just the same Ardian weapons, just with different upgrades. So for example, if you compare the Mizutsune weapon to a base Ardian weapon, you can see that it has 2 affinity upgrades, 2 sharpness upgrades, and 1 attack upgrade, and it will be the same as any Ardian weapons out there. That is the water element. The weapon also comes obviously with the slick blade, which is the effect that we just talked about. So I dismiss Mizu's weapons and armors heavily, which is just really sad, because even if they thought that attaching to this weapon to Mizu's armor was a good idea, they should have allowed us to activate Bubble Blight just by using 2 pieces. And currently the weapon can only be good against Mizu if you don't have the 4-piece set, and Mizu is not even weak to water, and so it's completely pointless. Even the special weapons like Hunting Horn, Gun Lances, and Bowgun, which have special properties outside of these points that we talked about, don't seem to be better than the options that we have right now. The next quest is of course the Zoh Shia, which is accessible in Hunter rank 50 by talking to the Werner in Suja. And can we just take a moment to appreciate how good this fight is in comparison to every other Wilds fight we've had so far? We wanted a challenge, and Capcom did definitely give us one, even though this isn't the limit I want in terms of difficulty for Monster Hunter games. The fight was very fun and is the only fight so far where I actually had to focus. I might share my gameplay reaction. I already recorded with you guys, and let's just say I failed this quest 3 times, and I'm actually so happy about that. Looking at the armor set though, there are some straight up upgrades in terms of pieces we've had before. The ones I think that will be used a lot in meta builds are the chest piece, headpiece, and waist, and all 3 of these pieces give you agitator in a really efficient way. But this armor is also insane in terms of visuals, and I can't wait to make a layered armor based off of some of these parts and some random pieces from the different sets. The set bonus is a continuous health regen past your red bar, so nothing insane considering the options that we have right now, but it's still a cool little hint at how Zoh Shia can regen different parts of his body mid-fight. The weapons on the other hand are very interesting. So in regards to their normal stats, they mostly are the better versions of the arc-filled weapons. However, the skill, which is called the White Flame, is a fixed damage skill that pops here and there and can actually add to the fire damage from the skill Scorcher, but I don't think this skill will become meta in any way. Maybe on some fast hitting weapons like dual blades it will be good because you can have good uptime on it, but the chance of proccing it seems lower on faster hitting weapons, so maybe I'm wrong in regards to that. I just didn't have enough time to test this. However, from my experience, I doubt this skill will be any good, and this means until we're proven wrong, the Ardian weapons are still top dogs. Don't worry though, because I will make a video very soon covering the best options outside of the Ardian weapons, so you don't have to grind your brains out for them. But if you're still set on getting the best Ardian weapon, I've made a video covering a technique used to get the best Ardian weapons in the least amount of time possible, and it's very efficient in terms of the material usage. The final quest you can get is about the Alma's glasses, and there's 3 locations for this quest because the majority of the quests you don't have the markers. So the only places you need to go is first to Alma, then to the Woodwood camp, and there's an NPC in the Woodwood camp that leads you to the southwest of a Scarlet Forest, and from there the Woodwood that has the Alma's glasses will go back to the Woodwood camp and hide, and you can find him inside the camp after talking to the Woodwoods around the fire and finish the quest. This quest allows you to change the Alma's glasses, very Coomer friendly feature, but you can also get the 2 new headpieces using this quest, giving you the geologist and botanist skills, which are very useful for gathering. Using these new pieces you can make the new best buffing / gathering set. I made a full video covering that and how you can get upwards to like more than 50 attack power and many other cool buffs. But with this new piece you can fit in the skill adaptability for the ultimate buffing set. If you don't know what buffing set is, you can just go ahead and watch that video, but it's a very useful video. I really recommend you guys watch that. There is also 4 new upgrade limits for charms, and that is for Convert Element +2, Evade Window +4, Constitution +5, and Earplugs +2. Not many meta options, but still decent upgrades. Now let's talk about the Grand Hub, which is the gathering hub of the Wilds, and it can be accessed in Hunter rank 16 after talking to the big old dude in Suja, and it features the new canteen, Singing Lady, Barrel Bowling, Material Gathering Burp, Arm Wrestling, and all the NPCs you have to interact with in one place. But now that we're talking talking about the Alma. With this update, there is also some free content that you can download by talking to the support desk. One of these is an outfit for Alma that you can change her appearance completely. This place also features seasonal events, and the first one will be the Festival of Accord from April 23rd to May 6th. And also during this, we've been told that there will be new sacred decorations and a handler outfit based on the event. Also, the canteen menu can change during the seasonal event. But speaking of the canteen, now we have different meal vouchers. So there's vouchers for meals that you were offered in different towns, but there's also vouchers that lets you choose one of these meals no matter what. And the main way to get these vouchers and vouchers for barrel bowling is from the daily login bonuses. So make sure you get those. The stockpile dude also now acts as a way of resupplying your items, so you don't have to go back to your tent for that. There's also the new Big Burp NPC that you can get to by following the secret path, and it will give you different useful materials. So make sure to visit him once in a while. It's not a very sanitary thing considering these items come straight out of his ass, but what can you do really? This is the only option that we have. Other than that, the resting price have been bumped from 300 to 500 and mailing prices have been increased. I will put the new prices up on the screen, but I don't really know how I feel about this. I know some people that play less hours would love a feature like this, reducing their grinding hours, but what can you do really? Maybe Capcom has their own reasons for doing something like this. There's also weapon changes and bug fixes, like the camera now moves further away when you fight Gormagala, a very nice change. Lance follow-up attack is easier to land after the focus attack. The hunting horn third note sometimes registered very poorly, resulting in all sorts of mess-ups in your songs, and they fix it now, although I never really had any issue with this because of the way I used my PC keybinds. Again, I made a really comprehensive video about that, so you can watch it if you want. There was also a feature that lets you use bowguns while riding, and it was somewhat broken with certain ammo types, so they adjusted that. I still think sacred riding bowgun attacks are useful for applying poison or other status effects on monsters, but we'll have to test that and see. Lastly, for the bow, they reduced the damage from Dragon Piercer to counter the Dragon Piercer spam, and they increased the damage of 1000 Dragons and Power Valley. Also, the Power Shot and Power Valley can now be affected by Charge Master skill. The last feature we got in this update was the Arena Quest, and we have 3 types of quests right now. There is the Arena Quest and Challenge Quest, both giving you monsters to fight with predetermined gear, and then there is the free Challenge Quest, which we will get later on, and they will allow you to bring in any gear that you want. There's also the matter of armors that you can craft using the rewards that you get from the quests. This type of armors aren't really that good in my opinion, but they're still good options for maybe potential layered armor sets. There's also the matter of leaderboards. However, the leaderboards I don't really care much about, because despite the Capcom giving so many warnings, the leaderboards is just filled with cheaters getting times like 0 seconds, 1 second, 2 seconds. Like this is just completely crazy, and I don't even care if they fix this or not, because we've been shown before how people can use subtle cheats to improve their time ever so slightly, and therefore I just don't see myself comparing my time to someone else's. I'll try to improve on my own time, and your first goal should be to get an A with every single one of the weapons, and after that you can just improve your own timer and don't care about anyone else. But that's it guys, I have so many video ideas that I will try to do ASAP. I just want to thank you guys again and again for how kind you've been to me during this newest start on Monster Hunter Walls. You might think of it not much, but every single like, sub, comment, share, they all just help a ton. So thank you again, but with that said, I see you all next time.